Welcome back to the channel.
Today we are heading out of Charleston and heading to Orlando.
Yeah, so come get lost with us on our journey to Disney.
And if you guys like this kind of videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
We have made it to the airport, got through TSA.
Super fast.
Yeah, it was one of the fastest I've ever been through TSA.
And we got to see our friend that is at the check-in counter. She's always there. She recognizes us, so it's kind of nice to have a familiar face. So, and it's only at this airport.
Now off to the terminal.
Let's go.
There you go. We're going to A, y'all.
Please make your way 885 for immediate boarding and on-time departure.
Bill. So just hanging out in the airport. We got about an hour, almost 2 hours, waiting for the next flight. So she's working on some work. Our plane is pulling up to the gate. So we should start boarding in probably about 40 minutes. I really need to shave, huh?
I know. This is the roughing it of not being home for two months.
Yeah.
But hey.
You excited to be back to Orlando?
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to Atlanta, I think, a little bit.
We got a shortish layover in Atlanta, not too long.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, y'all. Always fascinating, no matter which the airport. The entire thing's pretty empty. None of the other ones are boarding right now, except for the two right next to each other. And we're to the left, and LaGuardia is to the right. It's always crazy. Heading down the boardwalk to Atlanta, y'all. Check out that flight. We made it into the plane. Check. Look at her legroom. I'm so envious of short people. My legroom. We're on the plane.
Thankfully, it's a short flight.
Yeah. This should be like an hour from leaving the gate to landing, so not bad at all. And then Orlando's only like an hour and like 20 minutes or something, so should be good. But I envy the short people. This is the only day in my life I envy short people. Especially if you got short legs.
Yeah, I mean, like, look how much room I got compared to you.
Yeah, I always do a leg check. I already showed him. Showed me tiny legs. Backing out of the airport.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is on, even if the sign is off.
This plane is packed, y'all. One of the things I always find fascinating about Charleston is that every single flight we get on is packed out of here. So every single flight that leaves this airport seems to be packed solid with people. Check out all those military planes in the distance there. not even open yet.
Hi guys, welcome. Check your gates up above, guys.
All right, we made it to A. Now we got to get to T. And of course, we're all the way at the end, and we're all the way at the end of T too.
Delectable.
Delectable. Look what we found on our way to T, y'all. Las Vegas. It's amazing. Every time we fly, we're never close to that one.
I know. Well, I wish I was going home, but I got 3 more weeks.
3 more weeks, y'all. We have made it to the trail.
So I made it to my gate last time. It seemed like we're in prison. And I'm incarcerated.
It does feel like every time we're in Atlanta, we feel like we're incarcerated. They just yell at us the whole time. We're heading up to T-Gate. So sorry for existing. I'm so sorry I bought a ticket today. All shiny and new. No cockroaches and nothing. At the T-Gate after some major renovations. So the flight, it was, super short, comfortable. Nacy found someone with type 1 diabetes that she got to talk to next to her, as usual.
I didn't see it till the flight landed and we were standing up and, pleasantries.
Yeah, but it was a good flight, so no complaints. The one thing I do want to ask you all is, what is your strategy for ticket booking? Because for us, we book basically window, seat next to us. If you have 2 people, do you normally book like window aisle to try to deter them from booking?
So that way maybe you'll get lucky and nobody will want to book the middle seat. But,
Because what we're finding out is like planes will be almost empty, but for some odd reason they'll book right next to us.
Yeah.
So there'll be entire rows empty behind us, but for some odd reason they want the aisle right next to us. So like, is it better just to book the window and the aisle? I don't know. What is your guys' strategy? Let us know in those comments below.
Sorry, I need coffee.
Let's see if we can find her some coffee. Something I figured when we were walking through Terminal T is that there's literally nothing here store-wise. So if you're looking for anything specific other than like, is it a Bojangles or a Popeyes?
Bojangles.
So there's a Bojangles here, and then there's like 2 coffee shops. One's like a Cuban coffee shop, and one's like a Coffee Bean. And there's a Subway if you like Subway.
Yeah,
I feel bad for you if you like Subway, but that's it. That's absolutely it. There's nothing else here.
Jamba Juice.
Jamba Juice, yes.
Jamba Juice.
It's kind of crazy how tiny this terminal is, and yet a lot of the bigger planes seem to land here because they're going to like California and stuff. Most of the ones that we passed. Plane just got here, everybody. Deboarding. All right, heading on to the flight to Orlando. We're going. What's that? Row 23. It took so long that my thing zones out. It's ridiculous. Just get your own passes, folks. Makes it easier on everybody. Yeah, I'm excited. We're almost to Orlando. Leg check. About the same as last time. And of course, Nacy has about 1.5 miles.
Because I'm short, so everyone.
It's unfair. It's unfair, y'all. Very unfair. Look at that. Great. It's way back there, y'all. It's way back there. Slow and steady. For sure. Just waiting for everyone to finish getting on board. If you remember back in the 90s, they had the Olympics here. Do you think that's from the 90s? Or do you think that's like updated for a more recent Olympics? plane, heading to baggage claim, and then we gotta find our driver. We have made it to Orlando. Now, to the monorail. Monorail! Holiday decorations at the airport. Happy Hanukkah. Going to baggage claim. So I got car service. He was supposed to meet us, but as you see, he is not there. So apparently we have to go.
Texted us to say that to meet him outside once we got our bags.
Yeah.
They no Uber.
So definitely a legit tip. We hired the car service and now we're waiting outside like an Uber to pick up our car because he's picking us up like an Uber instead of like a car service. So definitely legit tip here. Orlando, not as trustworthy as Las Vegas with the car services. There's no moving. We've officially made it to the hotel. That was an experience, and we'll talk about that when we get up to our room. Definitely weird here and definitely sketchy, so be cautious if you're getting a service here. We'll talk about it in a minute. We have officially made it to the hotel in Orlando. Check out that in the comments below. But the car service is something else. We're pretty sure we got scammed, y'all.
Yeah, so we were looking yesterday for car services, and obviously don't ever just go with like the first one, which we didn't. We went with a company called Orlando Tours Limo.
It's on my phone.
All
right, so we got it real fast. It's the Orlando Limo Tours.
And so we booked it online. Everything seemed fine. And one thing, if you are going to book a car service, you do want to make sure that you get what's called a meet and greet. What that means is that they're supposed to meet you either at the escalators or at the carousel to do a meet and greet, help you with your luggage, bring you back to the car.
Yeah, like those guys you see at the airport with the little iPads with the names on it. That's what a meet and greet basically is.
Mm-hmm. So reading through everything before we booked it, we made sure that that was included. They also included a 20% gratuity, and
they claimed you could go to a grocery store too for 15 minutes if you asked them.
I don't really know what you could do in 15 minutes.
I agreed. I thought it was stupid, but
nonetheless.
But no, it was in there too. Yes.
Yeah. So we thought we were on the up and up. They confirmed it last night, and around 10 o'clock this morning, I got a text from the person, and it said, "Hi, I'm your limo driver for today." It said limo driver.
Yep.
And please text me when you land, which we thought was a little weird because we're like, that's kind of early.
Yeah, normally the car services at most like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And usually when we use Captain, I highly recommend Captain. If you have Captain in your area, they will send us tons of emails, tons of texts. They'll be like, this is your driver. They're being dispatched. Everything is on the up and up. We didn't get that with this car service. So kind of already our like red flags were kind of like, we're just going to see where this goes. And so when we touched down in Orlando, I texted the driver and I said, hey, we've landed. And he goes, okay, please let me know when you have your bags and meet me outside of Delta baggage claim.
He asked if we had bags first, and you said 2.
Yeah.
And then he said that.
Yeah. So essentially, he's like, meet me outside of Delta baggage claim once you have your bags.
It doesn't really change the story, but it sounded like he was going to meet us at the baggage claim.
Yeah. And so we were like, well, that's a little weird, but whatever, we'll figure it out. And so we came down the escalators, nothing there. We get to the carousel. And
if you know in Orlando, it takes you about 30 minutes to ride the monorail, to get to the lift area where all the stuff is, and then down to the escalators. So he had plenty of time.
Yeah. So we get our bags. Meanwhile, I was texting him, and I'm like, do you not come in to help us with our luggage? And I don't remember exactly what he said. Because I was like, usually when I have a driver, they meet me and they help me with our luggage. Oh, I'll help you once you're outside. And I was like, no, this is not acceptable. So I called the company's phone number while Gary was trying to kind of wrangle our suitcases. And once I finally got somebody on the phone, she said that we had to put it in the notes and make a special request for it. I was like, no, I don't. There's nowhere to make that special request. And per your terms of agreement, it states that it's included in what I'm paying for. It's on their website. It's on their terms of service. It doesn't make any sense. And so then we went back and forth, and she kind of put me on hold for a minute. And the next thing I know, the driver was calling me, and I was like, okay. So I answered it. He finally told me what his name was. He never introduced himself, told me what his name was in any of these text messages. Never told me what kind of car he was driving. None of this. So again, these were all red flags that were definitely sending up red flags, but we were already so deep in the moment that we were just going to see where this went. Mostly for the channel, so you guys could come tag along with us on this journey.
Right, but if worst comes to worst, we were just going to get an Uber and a Lyft. So it wasn't like, this wasn't going to make or break our vacation.
Yeah. So he said that he was right outside number 32, which is where we were. And we walked out, and it took a couple minutes while I was on the phone with him. He never got out of his car.
Yeah, he drove from the cell phone lot, y'all. He was clearly parked at the cell phone lot. Because as soon as she said it, it took about the time it would take to drive from the cell phone lot to the entrance. Mm-hmm. And then you just saw him driving up, and his door's open. He's like, get in. And it's like, what is going on? This is just like getting an Uber or Lyft. This is what we were trying to
avoid.
Well, and do something different, because we've done Uber and Lyft here before. And for the channel, we wanted to see, what it's like, because a lot of the Uber drivers that we did in the XLs and the premiums here, the black or whatever it's called, would say that there's a whole different entrance, just like in Vegas. There's a whole different parking area. So we wanted to see what that looked like, and we wanted to experience it for you guys, and for us obviously as well too, not gonna lie. And that just wasn't what we got. Just trying to
simplify the trip too, like just trying to make it a little bit simpler. Because if you watch any of our Vegas videos where we've had a pickup driver, they literally escort you to a private parking lot. You're not rushed. You can take your time getting in the car. They take your luggage,
so we typically have 2 bags. They take both the bags. They'll take our backpacks off of us too, put them on the luggage, and wheel it out for us.
And that was not the case today.
No.
So
he didn't even get out of the car, like Nancy said.
Yeah, he really didn't. He really did not get out of the car at all. He got out and threw the suitcases in the back very quickly. Yeah. But that was it.
And that was because he didn't want us to see his license plate. Come to find out, we'll get to why I know that, and when we get to the end of this.
So we get in the car, and he starts talking about like Orlando traffic. We're kind of just looking around the car, taking it all in. There were no drinks in the car.
It was a minivan, y'all.
It was a minivan. It was supposed to be an SUV.
It was supposed to be an
SUV.
Nice one. Yeah, a nice SUV.
And there were not. So if you've ever taken an Uber Black or a Lyft Black in Orlando, the city of Orlando has certain guidelines for people who have limo services, because that's what Uber Black and Lyft Black are in Orlando, as well as servicing the airport. And they're supposed to have certain documentation, and they're supposed to have certain licenses just for the city of Orlando, which, from a small business standpoint, can be probably a thorn in someone's side. But
yeah, it can suck sometimes, but he had none of that.
It lets you know it's a legit business.
Right, he had none of that. He didn't have any labeling on the side of his minivan. He didn't have anything like you see. If you order an Uber, you'll see like numbers on the dash and a license you're supposed to have.
He didn't even have a taxi.
He didn't have anything.
So he could have been Joe Schmo from anybody who could have taken us somewhere that we didn't even know.
And then the funny thing was, every time we would talk, I'd be like, hey, so in Vegas, they would pick us up at a special location. They would get our bags in the car, and he'd start talking about something else. Oh, Land of Mickey. You're in Land of Mickey now. Isn't it cool? Every time we tried to talk anything about what a car service is really supposed to be, he'd just start rambling about Orlando traffic or about Disney. And it was just like,
it felt very scammy.
Yes, 100%.
So we get to the hotel, and he gets out, pops the trunk.
He gets out and runs to the back and pops the trunk before we can get there. And at first you don't think it's anything, because that's what a lot of the car services do. So I wasn't that bad. And then he starts pushing Nacy's luggage into the thing, and I'm like, okay. He left his back up, because it's a minivan, so he left his hatch up in the back and just left it up. And I was like, well, that's weird. And then he walked inside, and he's like, okay, have a good day. He pushed it between me and the door, and then basically took off back towards his car at a pretty quick pace. I would say almost a slight jog. He gets in his car, and he backs out of the parking lot, y'all, with the back of his car up. Take that in for a minute. It was the weirdest thing I had ever seen, and he backed up for a good I would say half a mile. Yeah. It's really weird. And he backed up the entire way, and it was gone. I don't know when he put the trunk down, because I was like, I just don't care. We got pictures of the inside. We have the receipt. It's on an Amex, so it's not like we can't just challenge the thing if they don't do right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big deal to us, but it was just like, it was so
Weird.
scammy, so weird. Now I'm watching my card to make sure that we don't get any additional charges or anything.
Yeah, so we sent them an email. We're going to give them 24 hours to get back to us. If they don't, we're just going to dispute it with Amex.
And if you want to learn what happens after this, check out our Awkward Chats podcast in December, because we're definitely going to talk about this issue and the resolution of it.
And how you can make sure you're not getting a scammy car driver.
And that's why you watch us, guys, because...
We do it so you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you watch us, guys, by the way.
Us guys, you guys. So yeah, so that was our car drive here. And you know what? It's fine. We made it here. We're going to figure out the rest. It's not the end of the world. It was just really weird.
Yeah. And now we're going to go shake it off and head down to Disney Springs. So let's see what trouble we can get into there. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Look at Pluto. Pretty sure it went off when I went through as well. Look at that tree. Look at that tree. All right, we made it to Disney Springs. They still have some starter decks, so we'll grab them.
Did you get all 4 of them?
No, so we can do 2 per guest.
Okay.
All right, we've been successful with our Lord Arcana search. We got 2 different starter decks. And an associate who had no idea what she was doing.
Yeah. You know, we talk about eating at Polite Pig all the time when we were here.
Yeah.
When we lived here. So maybe when we move back, we'll add it to our list of places to try again.
We decided to stop over at Morimoto's. I've never ate there, Nacy has, so we're going to give them a try for dinner. I'm excited to try some ramen or maybe some duck. I don't know. It's a little backlit, y'all, but there's the ducks.
And if you guys can't get a restaurant inside, you can always get some street food out here. It's not quite the same, but it's close. And they got outside seating, both downstairs and upstairs. And it's a gorgeous night tonight. It's the time of year where all the stores are decorated and not just the Christmas store.
Merry Chrysler.
More costly.
So what are your thoughts on Disney Springs, Nathan?
Honestly, the weather's been really great. Everything's decorated for the holidays, and it's busy as shit.
Yeah, it's our first experience here on a time back. Definitely make sure to subscribe. We're going to do the Christmas tree trail and some of the other stuff that's there. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe down below.
Yeah, and today was like our travel day, so while it wasn't as long as like it usually is for us, we ate some dinner, got a couple of things, and now we're gonna go head back to the hotel and take it easy for the rest of the night, because tomorrow
we're going to Magic Kingdom.
So we got a busy day tomorrow, so obviously we don't want to overdo it, push ourselves, because really this week is just about us chilling, enjoying ourselves, and taking you guys along with us. So
Yeah, so if you like this video, hit that thumbs up.
make sure you hit that subscribe button,
And ring that notification bell so you get notified of at least 3 videos a week.
and we'll come and get you guys for the next one.
Ain't that the truth, baby Ruth?
Bye, everybody.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach with our friends.